Hello, my name is Mackenzie, and today we will be doing a creator's commentary of What Was Left. This commentary track will be including commentary for chapters 1 through 5, as well as the Prologue Chapter. So, let's begin. During this commentary track, I'm going to be telling you stories about the development, about the characters, and just all of the things in general as I was creating the story.
I wonder if someone's inside. Wouldn't be since this house is over 30 years
So
old.
this chapter was actually edited by Hello Kitty instead of me, which is why I had to include edited by Mackenzie and Hello
Oh,
Kitty in
okay.
the thumbnail
Do you mind if I
for
take a few
SoundCloud
photos of
and
the
also
house?
in the video as
I want to
well.
know who you are first.
My name is Emily.
So
The
this,
photos
the
Just for
prologue
myself.
chapter is
I've
actually
actually
an
been
edited version
photosynthing before I was born.
of a
keep the
demo
poses
reel
of
that I
Kate.
wrote
I'm
when
John,
I
by the
was
way.
signing up for an account on
What happened to your
voices.com.
arm?
The
Accidentally
story, the
knifed.
demo reel was
Don't
discarded,
worry,
and
it's an old wound.
the account was scrapped. And I was looking for a story to make, and then one day I came across this again, and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good. I can make this
So,
into a
how long have
story.
you lived here?
So I started developing
My
the story
whole
in my
life.
mind, then I started
My
making it on
family
the
bought this
script,
house. My
and then
mom.
everything else fell into place shortly after that.
So, my parents bought the house, and I've lived here ever since.
So, did your parents die?
Yeah, they passed away a little over 5 years ago now.
I'm sorry to hear that. What were they like?
I don't want to talk about my parents.
Oh. Is that blood on the wall over there?
Dried paint.
Okay. So, what else has been happening around here? The area kind of went silent after the disappearances from a couple years back.
Oh, not much. After the disappearance.
So, during the
Lots
development
people
of the
moved
scripts
out the
of What Was
area.
Left, I was
That's
tasked
why
with
the
the nearly
houses are in
impossible of
such
creating a good story with
disrepair.
potential for a follow-up
Huh.
story that pays close
Well, I heard
attention to
that.
detail. So you'll notice here the stairs. When he is dragging Emily down the stairs, there is echoes, which means that there is a basement. An audio adventure brought to you by many talented voice actors. Although the other chapters are in place as Prologue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Chapter 1 was actually the first one that was edited. That is interesting about the disappearances is that the bodies, and originally, the voice of Daniel Jones was meant to be another character, another voice actor. They dropped out, and I didn't want to look for another voice actor, so I filled in that space. As well as information that could have led to an offender. Now, the dates, if I remember them correctly,
What kind of sick freak would kidnap teenage girls?
I feel like the voices in this one were a little quieter, but I had only just started editing.
Remember, you're sitting your history exam in 4 days, so make sure you study hard at home.
And during
The
the
date's just gonna
development of the
sneak up on
chapters,
ya.
I learned to increase and lower the volume of characters'
Hi, Matt.
lines because some characters, like Emily's lines,
Well, look at who got
were
a date.
quiet, so I needed to make that louder.
Thanks.
Hey Matt, come on, let's go get lunch.
Either I'm sick and Sarah, even though I have a girlfriend now, and might be a
So you notice the attention to detail is the chattering of
So that was Sarah?
students in the
Still can't
hallway.
believe that guy got a girlfriend.
Yeah, I actually spent a while trying to find the right audio file for that, but I think I made the right choice.
What? No. I couldn't see me having a boyfriend.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure you'll find the guy soon.
Thanks. So I gotta go get lunch.
Do you want me to walk with you?
No, I'm meeting up with some friends. But thanks though.
No problem. See ya.
Bye.
Later that night.
So there were some lines where I felt like I needed to fill in the blanks so that the world around them wasn't quieted. So you'll notice that line at the beginning, and they will be having another trial within the next week, and also the background of Mr. Jones in the classroom while Jeremy and Sarah were talking. I actually wrote those into the script, partially, and filled out that, so that the world around them didn't seem blank. I needed there to be, life around the world instead of the world just being mainly focused on them.
Turn on the news. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. I just got a lot of homework to do. Yeah, most of it's for history. Alright, bye.
The next day.
So, did you hear about the girl who went missing 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So for later chapters, I had to create the story that also that also stayed true to what originally happened. So you notice that, that the girl Emily disappeared 2 weeks
So
ago,
that means that girl
and
didn't
I
go
had
missing.
to
She was
use that
kidnapped.
to my advantage, and I had to try and create a story
That's just
around
theories.
that
Hard to
date.
actually find out. Unless what?
So when some of the actors were doing their lines, I noticed that some of them had missed a few lines, and rather than asking them to redo them, I found a way to work around them, which I think I did pretty good.
So, Sarah, I'm in the middle of lunch with Amy right now.
So you'll notice that attention to detail again. You can tell that this particular scene is set in the school, because you can just only slightly hear the background noise of the
15
students.
minutes later.
Okay, so, you know the girl...
So the music in the scene was actually added in afterwards. I hadn't originally thought about music, but when I was listening to some of the FNAF soundtracks, I figured that, yeah, since this is inspired by FNAF, I could probably use the soundtracks, and the soundtracks only from FNAF. So I needed to go and find the original music in FNAF and not the stuff that was used from other
Yes,
people.
filled
So the
newspapers
first
dating
edit
back
of
to the
chapter 1
early
was actually without
1950s.
music,
I ended up
and
staying
the
there
second
times.
chapter, which was the final
So, what do we
chapter,
do now?
the second edit,
Jeremy and I will go to
and
the
the
library and
final
look at
edit
the
of chapter
archives and
1
try to find lost
had
children
music.
of the girls. While you guys go and ask families of those girls what they last remember.
So, we're going to the library.
No. First we gotta see Mr. Jones and ask the dates so we know where to look.
5 minutes later.
Hi, Mr. Jones. Are you able to talk?
Well, I can speak, if that's what you're asking.
So during this
What do you
scene,
wanna
I
know?
reckon that I could have taken off the headphones and put away the mic, and tried to go for a more realistic sounding
Oh,
video,
glad someone is
audio,
interested in the
or I could
history of
have
this
at least
town.
turned it down,
I
but
hope
I
this
was
isn't
too
any
late into
cheat for an
development,
exam.
like into
No,
editing,
sir.
to think
Just a
about
homework
that.
project we're working on together for English. We had to choose one event in history and do some research on it.
So
Okay.
a fun
Well,
fact
all the
about
dates were
Jeremy's
in the year
lines is that when he did the
2005.
lines, he would
The
do
first date was
about
around the
2 or 3,
15th
maybe
of
even
March.
4
Jeremy,
versions
can you
of
write
that
this down?
same line.
Oh yeah,
So
sure.
I was probably
The
dealing with
second date was
about
somewhere
20
between
audio files,
the
and each of
12th
them
of May
containing
and the
2 to 4
17th of May. The third
versions
date
of the same line. He
was
also
in
shared them to
August.
me
I
using
always
a
have
Google
trouble
Drive
remembering the date
folder.
of this one. It was either the 21st
And that meant
or
that
the 30th. I hope this helps with your project.
and that meant that I would have to go through all 20 of those files to try and find
Bye.
what was good, and to see if he'd missed any lines. And that became a real pain, but I reckon that it was worth it, because I also got the lines that I was looking for and only asked him to redo about once or
We
twice
got the date.
for the final
Great,
chapters.
we got some phone calls and text messages recovered the night they disappeared. Yeah, some of these parents remember the calls and texts.
Well, that
So there was
ain't
meant to
so.
originally be a line
All the
between
messages that
Matthew's
were
2
sent
lines, where Jeremy would say
So, we're going to the
something
library.
along the lines of
Yeah. Meet you there?
something
Alright,
along the
that
lines
works for
of
me.
You managed to get those from a long time ago? Good job, Matthew. I'm pretty sure. I also think this ending music here is pretty good. And I really loved using it at the end of every chapters.
So, what were the dates we were looking for again?
The first
So
date is
before
around
I
15th of
mentioned
March.
that the first edit of
5
chapter
days ahead and
1
5 days
was without
backwards
music and
from
the
that
next
date.
one was with
The second
music,
date was between May
that is
12th
only
and May
true
17th.
for the
The
first
third date
chapter. The
was
rest of the
either
chapters,
21st
I
or the
would
30th
put the
of
music
August.
into the
All of
chapter
these
during
dates
its
took
first
place
phase of
between
editing.
2005. I got that part. Okay then, let's go.
So you'll notice that there are 2 sets of
I'll go
footprints,
ask for the old
which
newspaper
is another
archives.
great attention to detail.
Okay, I'll have a look around for some books to read. Come find me when you're done.
This next part I was really happy to get Dan Seibert himself to send in some lines.
AF lore book?
No, don't touch that. I reserved it for myself. I need it.
So I actually edited the scene in advance. Once Sarah had sent in her lines, and after I'd gotten the lines from Dan, which I'm pretty sure was like a 2-minute like audio thing that I'll probably put in another video later. But before I started editing all of chapter 2, I actually edited this one specific scene. Because I was so excited to get Dan Seibert to have his line sent in and to be collabing with him on this particular project and helping me out with it. I found that it was really cool. There were also some lines that he sent in that were improv lines that I didn't actually write in the script, and I felt like that made it better, like this end line. The part where he says, "I'm more than FNAF fan games," that was improv. I didn't actually tell him to say that, he just said it without any instructions.
Okay, so we got the papers from the dates?
What do they say?
So for the music for every scene and what was left, I had to carefully select what music best
Can't see it.
fit the scene.
What line are you pointing at?
It was a real challenge with the music that I was given, and I was only allowed to use the FNAF soundtrack because it was inspired by FNAF, and I figured that the soundtrack should only be FNAF, unlike previous projects where the music was used through a wide variety of different media, like games
so
and
that's where we're going now.
like games and TV shows and movies and stuff.
No, not right now.
This alarm was actually recorded from my own phone. So I actually got my own phone out, set an alarm, played an alarm tone, and recorded it live, and then put it in without
Yeah, it does.
so that saved me some time and effort trying to find an alarm sound, and I think that was really good. From here on out, I started using the FNAF 3 phone ringing because it's shorter and it's more like, I kind of felt that it was more like modern, you know?
Meet us on Quinton Road.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay, see you there, Sarah.
Bye.
So I originally wanted Hello Kitty to edit
day.
chapter 2 because the editor wouldn't allow me, but once I figured out what the problem was, I was able to do it, and I think it turned out pretty good.
Hold on.
So you notice the attention to detail again, that the audio is actually filtered through a phone.
No way.
I used voicechanger.io and the phone effect to edit the audio.
Is it okay if I bring my sister Sarah?
Yeah, sure, I love your sister.
What? But this is too risky for...
Yay! I get to go on an adventure!
So originally, well, not originally, I meant, what I meant to do was I meant to cut off, Jeremy talking with Lily.
See you there.
And I think I did a pretty good job at that, overlaying the audio.
Damn it. Okay, one more go.
Hey, Scott, can I ask you a favor?
Kinda busy right now, sis. I'm about to beat
So
my
if you
high
listen
score.
carefully to the sounds that he's playing,
Dude,
I
what
actually
the
got
heck?
the sound from
Why'd you
someone
turn
who
off
was
the
playing
TV?
Night 7 on FNAF 1.
Okay, well,
You can
better
notice
be
Freddy's
important.
laugh if you
What is
play
it?
it back again.
Can you give me a ride up to Quinton Road?
Wait,
So
what?
Scott and John's
Why are you going
lines in
that
the
far out of
later
town?
chapters, including this chapter, were giving me a
I'm
lot
just
of
meeting some
pain
friends there.
because for some reason,
Okay, why are you meeting them so far out
how
of
the
town?
audio was being
Look,
how the
you
audio
just
was
drive
being
me up
played
there.
and
I
how
don't
it was
understand why
being
you
played in
can't
the
get Mom or
final
Dad to
edit
drive you.
was actually out of sync.
Just
So
drive me up there.
so Scott's
Alright,
line would
fine, sis.
actually start
Whatever.
in the middle
If it makes you happy,
of the line
I'll drive you.
instead of the
But
start.
under one condition.
And there
I'm
would
coming
be
with you.
a long silence,
Fine by
or it
me.
would be the start
Thanks,
of a new
Sarah.
version of the
25
same
minutes
line.
later.
So what I originally did
Hey, Sarah.
was I used Screencastify to record the line
really?
how it sounded through the
Glad
editor,
you're here, too.
Guys,
and I
what's up?
replaced
So,
Scott's
why are we
audio with
waiting
the
for anyone?
Screencastify,
Or-
and I think
Oh,
it turned
just
out really
Amy.
well.
Wait, who's Amy?
She's my girlfriend.
You got a girlfriend?
Yeah, oh, here she is now.
Hi, everyone. Wait, who's he?
Hey, Amy. He's my brother. He wanted to tag along.
What? No, I had to drive you.
Wait, Sarah, you still don't have a driver's license.
I never really thought about it.
So, are we going or what?
So you'll notice multiple sets of footsteps, another example of my attention to
You
detail.
never told me that
I
meant you
spent
had
a
girlfriend.
lot of time into editing this to make sure that it was
Well,
a
I'm not
product of
asking you to
quality.
tell me everything.
And because of that, I added in sound effects that and
Oh,
audio files that
nothing,
overlay the sound effects and audio files that
Yep, what
overlay
she said.
each other,
Oh, I see.
which I think I did a pretty good job at. And for the later chapters,
Okay,
there
fine.
will be some echoes for different spots, which I also think is a really good attention to detail.
Hello?
Hi there, we just wanted to ask you a few questions.
Who
So I'm
are
pretty
you
sure it was
people?
this particular music that I wanted to
Yes.
add into what was
Name's
left
Matthew.
for a long
I'm
time,
Scott.
but I couldn't actually find a place to
And
do
I'm
it.
Amy.
So, you know us. Who are you?
I'm John.
So, can we ask you a few questions, please?
Why?
We just want to ask some questions about the disappearances.
Well, I guess that's okay. Do you want to come
So during
inside?
scenes like this where all the characters were in, I had to try and
Okay.
have
guess.
as many characters speak
okay.
as
And
possible,
you're coming
because
too.
I didn't want anybody to feel
okay with
left
me.
out.
Okay, well,
Especially since
come on
after
in.
I finished chapter 1, what the voice actor for Amy said that she felt like she didn't have enough lines. So I said that I would try and fix that. So in
Chapter
later
3.
chapters, I would try and include everybody in as many scenes as possible with as many lines
Yeah,
as I could.
it's
So
huge.
when I had multiple lines for a character, I would try and spread them out a little.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
What about you?
So multiple times
You
throughout
okay?
what was left, you can hear footsteps overlaying other footsteps.
Yeah, I will admit, this place is very creepy. Hey, do you have any lights around here?
So I also thought this music was perfect for this particular scene. It's dark and creepy and mysterious,
How's that?
which is what the characters
Yeah,
were
yeah, that's better,
experiencing when they
better,
were
thanks.
entering the house for the first time.
So, what did you want to ask me?
Well, we found out that 3 other girls went missing around here. What can you tell us about that?
Let me think. I remember there being a figure walking with those girls, but I'm not sure who.
Don't lie to us, mister. We know the police searched your house.
They did search the house, but found nothing. I didn't kidnap those girls.
Well, you were with them because someone sought you.
Okay, fine. I did talk to those girls on the day they went missing.
So you lied to everyone who interviewed you?
Well, yes, but by choice. I knew that if I told them I saw them the day they went
So
missing,
this scene is one of those
they would get
examples
more
where I had
suspicious.
to make sure to spread the
If you had
lines
nothing to
out
hide,
among the
you had
actors.
nothing to fear. Were you
That
hiding
sounded good in the
something?
story.
No.
So I guess you won't mind if we had a little look around the house.
No, I don't. Look around all you like. You won't find anything useful for your little investigation. Like you said, I have nothing to hide, so I have nothing to fear.
Okay, how many rooms are in the house?
There is a living room, a study, and a kitchen on the first floor. There's 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and 2 extra rooms on the second floor, as well as...
So when I was
Okay.
making this,
How
when
about
I was
we
writing
split
down
up
this
and look
line, I
around in the
had to make
rooms?
sure that
Me,
I
Sarah, and my sister
made a
upstairs,
room,
and the rest
made
of you guys on the
a
first floor.
house that made
Sound cool?
sense.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm
Okay.
not
Yeah,
100% sure
sure.
how I
Cool.
did, but
Can you take
I
us
think
upstairs?
it was
Yes.
okay.
Follow me.
So, what's the deal with Sarah and Jeremy?
Huh?
I think I should be the one up there with Sarah. You know, she's my sister after all, and I think I should be the one that's looking after her.
Yeah?
So, my question here is, why am I down here with you people?
How should we know?
Well, you know, it's just... never mind.
So, how's your sister holding up?
Ah, she's doing alright. Aren't you?
The man is a bit scary. It's okay. You're safe.
Here you go.
Thanks.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with them being together.
But, you know, okay, here's the thing though. I'm the one who should be looking after her.
Well, it was her choice to go with Jeremy. He have to take his sister with him. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Okay, first of all, she had to take me with her so she can stay safe.
Look, can't you just shut up and look in those 2 drawers over there?
Alright? Fine. I'll go then. Jeez.
This is why I love you.
Don't think you're off the hook. Go look in those shelves.
Okay.
So you'll notice that in the
So, how do you
background
think you're doing
of
up
Matthew
there?
and Amy talking that
Because
Scott
the
is
bathtub
mumbling
is
stuff,
screen
that was
door
actually
open
another
up.
improv line
Okay, so where do
that
you
I
look
didn't
first?
write down in the
I say you
script.
take a little Lily here and look in the
So
first bedroom
I thought it was
bathroom
pretty good, and I
kitchen
decided to
before
use
we
it in
go
the final
attic.
thing.
Are you sure you're gonna be okay?
Yeah, I can take care of myself. And if not, I am a very loud screamer.
Sounds like a plan.
And let me know if you find anything. Now, where to start?
Oi, Scott, have you found anything yet? Scott?
Maybe even to the
So
other
during this
room.
particular scene, where Scott gets kidnapped,
It's okay.
I tried to make it so that Scott's scream was
What's that?
was barely audible. I mean,
What the hell was that?
so it was like there was a hand over his mouth. That was actually,
What was that, you guys?
We don't know.
that was
We
actually, you know,
cannot find
kidnapping
Scott.
him.
Or John?
Wait, Scott's missing?
He was over here, looking through the drawers, and then he was just gone.
When did this happen?
About 2 minutes ago.
And you didn't think to tell us?
Well, we thought we found something interesting.
What is that?
Come with us. Look at this, on the wall.
Is that blood?
Yeah, we think so.
But why?
Maybe John did have something to hide.
Well, we know he was with those girls on the day they disappeared.
He could have taken the... Wait, where's Lily?
I thought she came downstairs with us.
Lily!
Lily!
So this scene with Lily and John I thought was really brilliant. So the music was creepy, and scary and dark, and I loved it in this particular scene.
Right now. Understand.
I also love this scene because it adds a lot of tension and suspense and a lot of mystery into the next chapter. Chapter 4. 1 hour later.
Did you look everywhere?
I looked through every room on the first floor 3 times, and I couldn't find her.
What about you?
I couldn't find her upstairs.
Where could she be? Lily!
Okay, instead of yelling, we need to go outside and call the police. They'll know what to do.
You guys go on. I want to stay inside just in case she comes back, you know?
Okay, come on. Hello? Yes, we need the police. We believe 2 people have gone missing. They may have been kidnapped by the man we believe was responsible for the disappearances.
I think Mr. Jones needs to know about this.
Hello?
Mr. Jones, thank goodness you answered.
Sarah, hello. I was just about to mark your work this week. So how you doing today?
Not too good, actually. Jeremy's sister has gone missing inside the house on Quinton Road.
You don't mean...
Yes, that house.
I'll be over there as soon as I can.
Thanks.
Okay, I just talked with the police. They said to stay out of the house until they get here.
So,
No,
not
we
many
need to
people
find
know this,
Lily
but I
and Scott.
actually
We can't
based
just leave them there with the
Mr. Jones
presumed
off of
kidnapper.
a
She's white.
real life
We gotta go
teacher
back and
who
find
teaches me. He teaches my media studies class. And he's a really cool teacher.
Did you hear it as well?
And I thought
Yeah,
it'd be
we
pretty
did.
cool to
What's
try
with all the noise?
like
Where is my sister?
Your
base him
sister?
base a
How should
character
I
off
know?
of him.
You went missing the same time Scott and my sister went missing. So, I'll ask again. Where is my sister?
I have no idea. I swear.
Then where were you the entire time they were gone?
Grabbing the washing out back. I swear. Please let go of me.
A basement?
You didn't tell us there was a basement.
I didn't even know we had one.
I also
Well,
felt
we
that
might
this
as well
music was
check
appropriate
down
for this
there.
scene because,
Ladies first?
again, it's dark and creepy.
No? Okay.
And you.
Yeah,
Don't
and I felt
go
this was pretty
anywhere
good.
until we come back.
It's too dark in here. Guys, look for a light switch.
So you notice the footsteps have echoes to them, as well as the voices. That is also a part that really surprised me in my attention to detail.
I wouldn't be saying that just yet.
Scott? Scott! Is he dead?
Sarah, look, there's blood coming from his head.
Scott? No, please, no. Scott, don't go.
So because most of the voice
Wait,
actors
Sarah,
like
he twitched.
Hello Kitty and Windy Windexian and Brick and Kenonis, they all sent their lines as
Be fine.
one long recording. But for
Hi, Sarah.
Cub Scouter it was really difficult
Why'd you hit me?
because I had to
Even one
download
punch wasn't
each
enough?
individual
Don't
file,
you ever
as well as
do
for
that to
this
me again.
chapter
Well, Scott's
run
okay,
them
Lily's
through
okay,
this
they're both
echo
alive.
thing.
Now we can get the hell out of here. No. Apparently not.
Hello? Anyone out there? We're trapped in here. Let us out.
Amy, stop. No one's out there.
What about John?
If he were out there, he would have let us out 15 minutes ago.
Maybe he's just...
Forget it, Amy. Just face the facts. We're stuck here.
Scott, are you okay?
Yeah. I don't know if it was just me, but that brick on the wall, it kind of looked funny, like it was sort of out of place.
Wait, where?
Yeah, it's just about over there. About, 3 places of that old washing machine.
Okay, what did I just do? Oh my god.
Are those?
Decaying bodies. Yeah.
disgusting.
Wait. That one. That one looks less decayed than the other bodies.
Emily. This must be Emily. John sealed her behind a brick wall. That's what happened to the other girls.
And they've been left here to rot ever since.
Why? What kind of sick person would you have to be to seal girls behind a wall in your own basement?
I thought that this entire scene was pretty good. I really enjoyed editing it. And it was pretty good. Especially this next part with the voice recorder. I thought it was pretty good, and the music was great. And it actually fit. It actually fit, the scene.
If you are listening to this, that means I have died or been killed inside the house on 17 Quinton Road.
Emily.
Over the
So, you know, there's car sounds in this as well.
try and find who was responsible for the disappearances on
The car scenes are also in this. There's also my attention to detail, as well as, it's barely noticeable, but for Emily's lines, if you listen closely, you can hear that the echo, goes over the
She never made
radio
it that
sound.
far, did she?
No, I don't think she did.
I think it's pretty good.
to go now. I'm heading down the road now.
She knew. That's the worst part about it. She knew she could have died.
She knew the risk of going.
And she went anyway.
I swear, when I get my hands on him, I'm gonna...
So, all of these chapters, like chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, are 6 to 7 minutes long, while the prologue chapter is about 2 to 3 minutes.
Guys, does anyone else smell that?
Yeah, what is that? Gasoline? There's no gas canisters in here. Why would we be smelling gas?
Wait, what if... Oh no.
What?
God damn it! John's putting gasoline all over the house!
Why would he be doing that?
Think! Gasoline is flammable!
Oh god, he's gonna burn the house down.
Yeah, and with us inside.
So I thought this was a pretty good ending to chapter 4, because it created a lot of tension. You know, whether the people with our heroes would survive.
Help, let us out.
Don't bother. It doesn't make a difference.
It might help.
No, it won't.
Well, we can try to call for help.
Oh, just face it. This whole house is going up in flames, and so are we.
Shut up.
No, we're all gonna die here.
Shut up. Just shut up. We can't give up now. Look how far we've come. We found so much. We can't just stop and say that this is it. We can't just say that we're all gonna die now.
She's right. We finally found out who was behind the kidnapping. That's more than anyone else ever. We can't just give up and die like Emily.
Yeah, she knew it was dangerous coming here, but she came anyway. If we die here, she would have died for nothing.
I thought this music was also pretty good for this scene.
Would have found out the truth. We can't let her die for nothing.
So, in my quest to find perfect music for the
How's we get
scenes,
out of here?
it actually worked both ways. I was constructing the scripts around the music, as well as letting the music construct the scripts. So, as I was listening to some music while making the scripts, I was starting to build scenes in my mind. And I thought that was pretty good,
Alright, let's do
because
this.
I found some music that was perfect for some scenes, and that's why I decided to use it.
Just a little more.
We did it! We're out!
Come on. Let's go. Let's get out of here.
So this is the first chapter where I decided to cut it into 3 scenes. Now that was because that a
John,
lot
just give
of
up. It's all over. You lost.
and that was because for
It's far from over.
there were a lot of
This house
audio
is going
problems
up
in it.
flames, and you're gonna
Like
burn with
when
me.
there was supposed to be
know
fire
what you
sounds
did.
during this scene,
know you
it was
kidnapped
actually
those
playing
girls,
Curb Your
and that Emily was
Enthusiasm
the
theme,
first.
which
But
was
why?
on
Why
my
did she kidnap
computer, so
those
it somehow
girls and
got
seal them
mixed
in a
up.
wall?
Shut
So I
up.
decided to cut it
One
into
more
3
word,
scenes.
and I drop
The
this
first scene
fight.
ends when they get out of the basement.
You'd burn
The second
yourself.
scene ends
That's a
after the
risk I'm willing to
fire,
take.
and the
If
third
I'm
scene,
going to hell,
ends
I'm
at the
taking as
end
many
before
of
the
you as I
credits.
can with me.
Not if we kill you
This is
Think about
also,
it. If
I
you
actually
shoot
thought
me,
that this was
the
also
lighter
a
gets
brilliant
This whole place goes up in flames.
ending to the entire
Oh,
thing.
come on. Did you really
when
think
I
would leave a
originally heard
loaded
this music, I
revolver
thought this
on a
has
table
to be the
for
ending
you
music.
kids to pick up?
Because when I first heard it
You
in
probably don't even
Pizzeria
know how to
Simulator,
fire that
it was
thing.
absolutely perfect with the dialogue and everything.
Hey, John! Burn that, why don't you?
Scott, the flame!
Oh no. Okay, everyone, out now!
You kids.
So this ending is
should have
really good,
stayed
and I actually had to
away.
use about 4
Someone's gotta
different
keep him in
fire
there.
sounds
Sarah,
to like show the fire is growing quicker and out of
look
control
after her, okay?
because of the gasoline.
Got it.
All right, you sick freak. Come and get some.
So this scene, true story,
Come on.
actually
Is that
made
all
me
you got?
quite emotional.
Sarah, go
And
now.
it's even making me get a little emotional
God,
right now.
Sarah!
Because this
Come on,
was the
Sarah,
death of a
there's
character
nothing
that
to
I
do.
really enjoyed working with. And now that they were dying, it brought some real emotion to me. And the thing is, if something I create gives me such an emotional reaction to a character that I've made, then I've done something and I've done it really well. And with this music, which is perfect, comes the end of the
Look at
second
that. We made
scene.
it out. We lived.
Hey, check it out. Mr.
So you
Jones
notice
called
that the
fire
sirens
department.
and the radio
That's
chatter,
so cool, teacher.
those are actually 2 different
Hey, Sarah,
sound files,
we
and I
made it
spent a
out.
lot of
We
time
escaped.
trying to find them.
Scott knew one of us had to stay behind and hold him back. He sacrificed himself so that you would be safe.
Yeah, he said before that all he wanted to do was to protect you.
That is Scott. What if he isn't dead? He still could be alive in there.
Don't worry. The fire department will handle that and get them out alive.
Guys, I think Lily might have a concussion.
So
We need to take her
originally
to the
in
hospital.
chapter 4, I was showing this to a friend before its release.
Don't worry. We'll meet you guys.
And when Scott was
Okay.
unconscious in the basement,
Yeah.
he actually didn't want Scott to
2
die because he was his
hours
favorite character.
It's
And that
He's
made
not
me
dead.
think in my
They
head,
could've pulled him out of
oh,
the
you
fire.
won't like what comes
In our
next.
top story tonight, the fire department spent another hour attempting to put out the fire of Quinton Road. After the fire was extinguished, it was discovered that there were still people inside the house as it was burning. The fire department located 2 bodies inside the house, but were too badly burnt to be identified, as well as 4 other bodies that were not burned but had been left to rot.
Scott! It's okay, Sarah. It's okay. Why?
So this is the only soundtrack in the entirety of what was left that actually is from FNAF World.
The 15th of February, a night to be remembered by all. For that was the date of the great
And
fire
I
of
actually
Quinton
spent a
Road,
lot
the
time
day
a
the
lot of
17th
time
house perished
writing
in flames.
this
The fire took
this
2 lives that
ending
fateful
narration
night. The life of
because
John,
I
a
needed it
once
to be
peaceful man
perfect
who had been
and a way to
corrupted by
close
guilt
off
and
what was
anger,
left
and Scott,
in a really
simple
good
kid,
way.
just looking out for his family and his friends. The 5 friends would remember this night for years to come, and so, every year, on the 15th of February, they would meet and stand outside the demolished house to honor the memory of Scott and what he did so that they could be standing in that spot. Very soon,
So
they
this
became
music is
famous,
reused
the
from
ones
chapter
who solved
4,
a
from
15-year-long
Emily's
mystery. But fame
scene,
wasn't what they were seeking. It was the
because
truth.
it's really
What was an
good,
attempt
and I
to
thought it was a
find
good
the
way to
truth
close
turned
off what
into
was
a
left
desperate fight
with the
for survival
narration.
and justice. And they won. And they had finally discovered what was left.
So I get asked a lot of time what was left, and it was actually the bodies, letting them know what happened 15 years ago. And with that, it plays the credits theme from Pizzeria Simulator. And this theme is really good. I absolutely loved this theme. And with that, we have reached the end of the creator's commentary, as well as what was left. I have about a minute to wrap this up before it ends. So I would like to thank all of you for watching. I would like to thank all of the amazing people who helped out with this project, like Hello Kitty, Cub Scouter, Christian, EC, Canonis, Windy Windexian, Newt, Brick, and Dan Seibert, and so many other amazing people who helped me and supported me during the time of editing this. I would also like to thank Scott Cawthon for inspiring me to create my own story, and for letting me use the music without copyright. So as we see the final message here, I would like to thank all of the amazing people who helped out with this project. This is by far one of the biggest projects I have made. You guys are the best. Thank you all for making this possible. So thank you very much for watching the creators' commentary, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.